PLA partners with Dr. Stewart Hase, who is a registered psychologist and works as a psychotherapist and as a lifestyle and management executive coach. For his coaching, Stewart uses an approach called Coaching Plus, in which people can design their own learning pathway based on their needs through coaching and a mix of relevant resources. Stewart has consulted for organisations worldwide in the areas of leadership coaching, personal development, and changing organisational culture. He also conducts workshops and online training programs in a wide range of areas around leadership, personal and organisational change, team development, communication and influence, and healthy living. Whether personal or professional, coaching has been shown to be much more effective than training in helping people achieve their goals. Dr. Hase uses his experience as a psychotherapist to use evidence-based techniques based in modern psychology designed to create real change. So hi Stewart, thanks for joining us today. Now Stewart, what is involved in coaching and why is it so much more effective than training?
Okay, yeah, there's been a number of studies have shown that if you want to get real change with people and real learning, that coaching is far more effective than training programs. And I guess there are really obvious reasons. One is that coaching is very goal-directed and suits the specific needs of the individual, whereas training tends to be with a group of people and it's very hard to address very specific needs that people might have. And what's involved really with coaching is very simple. It's just like you and I just having this conversation. Obviously, they're mostly done now on video using Zoom or FaceTime or whatever because of COVID-19, and also because people, I think, now have realised that you don't really have to meet with people face-to-face to have effective outcomes. And really, it's about an hour at a time. Your session is usually 50 minutes or an hour. And you might have several sessions, or you might have your issues resolved in one. It just depends a great deal.
Fantastic. What kinds of issues do people bring to coaching?
Wow, what a great question. Well, just about anything. As people would know from my resume, I guess, my background, I'm a psychologist by trade, and I see people in a clinical setting. I run a clinic 2 days a week. And people who have got mental health problems, and sometimes in coaching, people actually talk about anxiety and depression and all sorts of mental health issues. But so that comes up as well. But then it can also range to something as simple as I've got a bit of a conflict with a colleague, and how can I manage that? People talk about stress-related things, managing upwards, how to manage a heavy workload and time management. Anything you really like. Some people want to talk about how they can be a better leader. And a lot of coaching and executive coaching is geared towards helping people become better leaders, but really it can be almost any topic that you like. I've even had people in a coaching session talk about issues they got with their partner. So it could be anything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great. So is coaching effective using Zoom and FaceTime or Skype?
Yes, it is. Psychotherapy is sometimes quite effective, but there are some things you can't do. But with coaching, yeah, you can pretty well do everything that you need to do in coaching by Zoom or FaceTime or even Skype. You pretty well can do anything. Some people like the face-to-face more. They like the kind of personal contact, in which case we try to find coaches who are nearby and they can actually access. But yeah, this kind of format has been shown to be equally as effective as face-to-face. Again, it depends on what you're actually addressing, but if they're leadership issues and management issues, workplace issues, then we can usually resolve most of those kind of issues and talk about things that are relevant to people using this.
So is coaching like therapy?
Well, that's a really good question, because sometimes it is. As I said, therapy is about change, and so is coaching. So there are some similarities. Getting people to actually go from A to B on their journey. I guess it differs from coaching in the sense that therapy probably involves a lot more kind of insight training, perhaps, maybe a lot of confrontational stuff, dealing with traumatic issues, whereas coaching tends to be more about learning new ways of behaving and learning new ways to be effective. I mean, both involve learning, but the nuance and the focus tends to be a little different. Having said that, I was running my clinic last week and I had a session with somebody. It really was just a coaching session. They were having problems with somebody at work and that's what they wanted to talk about. So sometimes therapy and coaching kind of mix and meld. But there are quite different nuances. Some people, when they're having coaching, do want to learn techniques of how to manage things like stress and anxiety and heavy workloads. And they can involve some therapeutic techniques, sometimes, but it's less therapy and it's more helping and learning.
I see. So what is Coaching Plus then?
Right, yeah. Well, Coaching Plus is something that a colleague and I kind of came up with. And it's really quite straightforward. And that is that what we do is provide lots of resources, learning resources to people. So like I said, coaching is often about learning new things and new ways of behaving. So with Coaching Plus, what we do is we provide people with homework and with reading and maybe articles from Harvard Business Review or Forbes or whatever that might be relevant. And we provide learning materials basically. And in that way, the person can actually design their own learning program. Now, it may well be that a person might only want one coaching session or two or three, but sometimes if they want to become a better leader or a better manager or just better at what they do, it might involve several sessions. And the plus part is providing the learning resources. And we try to design a learning program for them with coaching as an adjunct. And as you know, ALA will provide credit and keep a record of the learning that can be used for credit into other programs.
Okay.
So the Learning Plus is actually a learning pathway as well as coaching.
Oh, that's great.
At the end of the day, it's about changing behaviour.
Fantastic. So is there a golden rule for how many coaching sessions a person needs?
No, there's not, but it's a great question. We tend to think in packages of 3, but I'm not quite sure where I came up with that from. But sometimes I've done coaching sessions where it's just one session and the person's been quite happy with what they've learned and I might have sent them some homework. Sometimes it's 2 or 3. No, it depends. Coaching is very much geared to the needs of the learner. So if somebody has a complex set of issues that they want to work on, and have a number of goals that they want to achieve, then yes, it might take a few sessions. For some people, it's just a simple outcome that they want and they achieve it in maybe 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. So there's no golden rule, and it's really driven by the coachee rather than the coach. We start off, for example, by developing a learning plan or a coaching plan right at the beginning, which outlines what are my goals, what do I really want to get out of this. So very much goal directed. Very much focused on what the person needs to learn. And when that's achieved, I guess it's a question about, are there some other goals or there might not be. So. And sometimes people come back to coaching after maybe 2 or 3, maybe a year or 2 or 3 months or whatever, depending on what their needs are.
Sounds like the sort of thing you could get hooked on.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I think that's true. I've got a couple of clients, one I saw at the weekend, or spoke to at the weekend, who I've been actually coaching on and off for like 5 or 6 years. But we don't talk very often. It may be once every 3 months or whatever. And then sometimes there might be a flurry, 2 or 3. And and usually it's about stuff that's going on at work or some kind of personal or professional development. But yeah, I've been working with people for a long time. And sometimes I do 1 session or 2 sessions and then never see them again.
Well, that's a sign of success.
Well, it may be. It could also be a sign that they don't like what's happening. But sometimes you never find out what's really going on. But we hope that it is success. And
I'm sure it is.
And we do try to follow up with people, and which is different to therapy. We don't follow up patients, but we do follow up coachees, and we'll connect with them and say, you know, how effective was the learning for you.
That's great.
But beware though. I'm a great fan of sending out homework to people. So.
Oh, good. That's wonderful.
Well, no worries, and thank you for the opportunity. And I must say that I'm really excited about partnering with ALA in developing our the coaching and also the leadership and other programs that we're running together. So thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, Stewart. Bye.
Okay.